This is a real CELPIP speaking question and sample answer designed for a target score of 7 to 8. Listen to it repeatedly until the words come out naturally. Task 1. Question number 1.
Your friend Rachel has a fear of public speaking. She is very nervous because she has to give a speech in front of a large audience next week. She asks for your advice. What should she do?
Hi, Rachel. I heard that you're having trouble with public speaking and that it makes you really nervous. That's totally understandable. Many people feel the same way, even experienced speakers. To start with, try practicing in front of a mirror or with a small group of close friends or family. It helps you get comfortable hearing your own voice and gives you a safe space to try things out. You could even record yourself and watch it later to notice how you sound and look. You could also consider joining a speaking group like Toastmasters. It's a friendly environment where you can practice regularly and get useful feedback. Everyone there is working to improve, so you won't feel judged. Over time, you'll feel less nervous and more in control. I hope this helps. Let me know how it goes, and keep going. You're doing great just by starting. Question number 2.
A friend is looking for a summer job. Advise him about different ways he can find work for the summer.
Hi, Rachel. I heard that you're looking for a summer job. That sounds like a great way to spend your time and earn some money. It can also give you good experience for the future. To start with, I recommend checking job websites like Indeed, WorkBC, or even LinkedIn. These websites usually have updated listings for part-time or seasonal jobs, especially for students. You can create a profile and upload your resume so employers can find you directly. You could also visit local cafes, restaurants, or retail stores in person and ask if they're hiring. Some stores don't post jobs online, but they might appreciate someone who shows interest and takes the initiative. Even if they're not hiring now, they could keep your information for later. I hope this helps. Let me know how it goes, and good luck with your job search. Question number 3.
Your friend is looking for a new generation laptop. Give some advice about what to consider when buying a laptop.
Hi, Rachel. I heard that you're looking for a new generation laptop. That's really exciting. I know choosing the right one can be a bit confusing with so many different models out there. To start with, I think the first thing you should think about is how you'll use it. If you need it for school, writing, or just watching videos, then a simple and lightweight laptop would be a great option. Something that's easy to carry and has good battery life can make things much easier, especially if you bring it to class or work. You don't need anything too expensive if you're just doing everyday tasks. You could also visit a store and try out a few laptops before you decide. It really helps to see how they feel when you type or carry them. The keyboard might be too small or the screen might be too dark. You won't know that just by looking online. I hope this helps. Let me know how it goes. Question number 4.
A brother is planning to buy a new car. Advise him about different cars available in your city.
Hi, Daniel. I heard that you're planning to buy a new car. That's a big decision, and I'm glad you're taking the time to think about it. There are so many choices out there, so it's good to look around and compare. To start with, I think you should consider what you'll use the car for. If you're mostly driving in the city, a small car like a Toyota Corolla or a Honda Civic would be a great choice. They're easy to park, use less gas, and are known to be reliable. I see a lot of people driving them around here. You could also think about getting a hybrid. Cars like the Toyota Prius are good for the environment and help save money on fuel. If you drive a lot every day, that might be a smart option. There are more charging stations and hybrid options available now, even in our city. I hope this helps. Let me know how it goes. Question number 5.
Your younger sister is not sure about choosing medical or engineering stream. Advise her.
Hi, Rachel. I heard that you're trying to decide between medical and engineering. That's a tough choice, but it's also really exciting. Both are great fields, and I'm sure you'll do well either way. To start with, I think you should think about what you enjoy more. If you like working with people and learning about the human body, then the medical field might be a better fit. But if you enjoy solving problems and working with technology, then engineering could be the way to go. Think about the subjects you enjoy in school, too. That can help you figure out which path feels more natural. You could also talk to people who are already studying or working in those areas. Hearing about their experiences might make things clearer. Maybe you could even shadow someone for a day or watch videos about what their daily work looks like. That might help you picture yourself in that career. I hope this helps. Let me know how it goes. Task 2. Question number 1.
Talk about a great time you had with a family member or friend. Maybe you can talk about a party, something you did together at school, a time you traveled with a friend, or anything else you can remember. What happened and why was it memorable?
I'd like to talk about a time when I went on a road trip with my friend. This happened last summer. We decided to drive to Kelowna just to relax and get away from the city for a bit. The weather was perfect, and the drive itself was really fun. We listened to music, grabbed iced coffee along the way, and just enjoyed the open road. One thing I remember clearly is sitting by the lake and watching the sunset together. We didn't even look at our phones. We just talked and laughed the whole time. It felt really peaceful and real. It was special because we hadn't spent much time together for years, and that trip reminded me how valuable true friendship is. Question number 2.
Talk about a stressful experience you've had. You could talk about a job interview, an injury, or a conflict with someone. Describe what happened, what you did, and explain why it was so stressful.
I'd like to talk about a time when I had a really stressful job interview. This happened when I applied for my first full-time job after college. It was a company I really liked, so I wanted to do well. I was excited but also really nervous because I didn't know what kind of questions they would ask. One thing I remember clearly is that I froze when they asked me to describe my biggest strength. My mind just went blank. I paused, took a deep breath, and tried to answer as calmly as I could. It was stressful because I felt a lot of pressure to impress them, and I didn't want to mess it up. It taught me to stay calm, even when I'm under pressure. Question number 3.
Describe a memorable trip you took in the past. Where did you go and what made it memorable?
I'd like to talk about a time when I went on a trip to Banff National Park. This happened 2 years ago during the summer. I had always wanted to visit the Rockies, so my friend and I planned a weekend getaway. One thing I remember clearly is hiking up to Lake Louise early in the morning. The water was bright blue, the mountains were glowing, and the air was so fresh. It felt like we were in a postcard. It was special because it was my first time seeing real mountains up close, and I felt completely at peace. It reminded me how refreshing nature can be. I still think about that view whenever I need a break from city life. Question number 4.
Talk about a time when you faced a difficult challenge and how you overcame it.
I'd like to talk about a time when I had to give a presentation in English for the first time. This happened when I was in college. I was taking a business class, and part of the final grade was based on a group presentation. One thing I remember clearly is feeling super nervous the night before. I kept imagining myself forgetting everything in front of the whole class, which made it even harder to sleep. I practiced again and again, but I still felt anxious about forgetting my lines in front of the class. It was stressful because English isn't my first language, and I was afraid of making mistakes. But I stayed focused, took my time, and it actually went better than I expected. Question number 5.
Talk about a time when you did something and then had to do it again. Maybe you can talk about something involving work, a relationship, or a personal hobby.
I'd like to talk about a time when I baked a cake for my friend's birthday, but had to do it all over again. This happened last winter. I wanted to make something special, so I followed a new recipe I found online. One thing I remember clearly is that I forgot to add baking powder. The cake looked fine in the oven, but when I took it out, it was flat and super dense. I was really frustrated because I had spent over an hour on it. It was stressful because I didn't have much time before the party. But I took a deep breath, started over, and the second one turned out much better. It taught me to double-check everything before I start. Task 3. Question number 1.
Describe some things that are happening in the picture as well as you can. The person with whom you are speaking cannot see the picture.
I'd like to describe a scene that shows a noisy and distracted classroom. In this picture, the students are supposed to be learning, but most of them are doing their own thing. In the center, one boy is holding a paper airplane. He seems to be having fun instead of focusing on the lesson. On the left side, a girl is stretching and making a silly face. Maybe she's bored or just not in the mood to study. On the right side, two girls are whispering and laughing quietly. They're probably sharing a secret or joking about something. There's also a boy sitting at his desk, eating something while looking around, maybe trying not to get caught. Overall, this classroom looks a bit chaotic, and the teacher might need to bring things back on track soon. Question number 2.
Describe some things that are happening in the picture as well as you can. The person with whom you are speaking cannot see the picture.
I'd like to describe a scene that shows a fun and peaceful day in the park. In this picture, people are enjoying outdoor activities in different ways. In the center, there's a child sitting in a sandbox, using a shovel and bucket to build a sandcastle. He seems really focused and is probably proud of what he's making. On the left side, two children are playing with a soccer ball on the grass. Nearby, a woman is jogging with her dog, both moving at a steady pace. On the right side, a woman wearing a hat is sitting on a bench, quietly watching the people around her. Not far from her, you can see a man in a small boat on the lake, slowly paddling across the water. There are also two children sitting on swings, enjoying their time at the playground. Overall, it's a bright, cheerful day, and everyone looks like they're enjoying the fresh air. Question number 3.
Describe some things that are happening in the picture as well as you can. The person with whom you are speaking cannot see the picture.
I'd like to describe a scene that shows a cozy kitchen filled with activity. In this picture, the kitchen looks bright and lived in. There are signs of cooking, playing, and family time all around the room. In the center, a woman is standing at the stove, stirring something in a big orange pot with steam rising from it. Behind her, two kids are sitting at a small table, both coloring and snacking. It feels like a typical busy afternoon at home. On the left side, the sink is filled with soapy dishes and a brown spoon is sticking out of the bubbles. Water is dripping onto the floor, which might be a little dangerous. On the right side, you can see a refrigerator, a microwave, and a toy basket with a stuffed bunny. There's also a dog and a cat, both clearly interested in the kids' snacks. Overall, it looks like a warm and cheerful kitchen where a family is spending time together in a relaxed, happy way. Question number 4.
Describe some things that are happening in the picture as well as you can. The person with whom you are speaking cannot see the picture.
I'd like to describe a scene that shows an emergency situation near a bridge. In this picture, it looks like a serious accident has taken place, and many emergency workers are responding. You can see a fire truck, an ambulance, and a large crane with several people in bright orange jackets on the scene. In the center, a blue truck has crashed into the stream and is badly damaged. A few workers seem to be checking the truck and trying to control the situation. On the left side, medical staff are helping an injured man lying on the ground. One person appears to be doing CPR while another assists. Under the bridge, some children are watching the scene. On the right side, the crane is getting ready to lift the vehicle. There's also a photographer taking pictures near the water. Overall, it looks like a serious accident with a strong and organized emergency response. Question number 5.
Describe some things that are happening in the picture as well as you can. The person with whom you are speaking cannot see the picture.
I'd like to describe a scene that shows a busy and friendly cafe. In this picture, the cafe looks colorful and lively, filled with people of different ages enjoying their time. In the center, two cafe employees wearing red shirts are working behind the counter. One of them is handing a drink to a man in a gray suit, and the other is giving a tray to a customer. On the left side, a young man is helping an elderly woman walk with a walker. Close by, a baby is sitting in a stroller, blowing bubbles with a toy. On the right side, a worker is wiping a small table, and behind him, two women are sitting at a counter, chatting and enjoying their coffee. There's also a man and a woman outside, each walking a dog. Overall, it looks like a cheerful cafe where people are relaxing, helping each other, and enjoying the day. Task 4. Question number 1.
In this picture, what do you think will most probably happen next?
I think what will most probably happen next is that the teacher, who's talking to someone at the door, will turn around and see how out of control the class is. This is because many of the students are clearly not paying attention. Some are chatting, others are playing with toys, and one kid even threw a paper airplane. They're acting this way because they think the teacher isn't watching. Once she turns back, she'll probably be surprised and tell everyone to settle down. Some kids might panic a little and quickly hide what they were doing. As a result, the classroom will most likely quiet down, at least for a while. Overall, it seems like things will calm down fast once the teacher gets back in charge. Question number 2.
In this picture, what do you think will most probably happen next?
I think what will most probably happen next is that the woman in the pink shirt and the dog will continue running and playing together. The dog looks really energetic and might even jump into the pond if it gets too excited. This is because they both seem to be having fun and the dog's running full speed toward the water. At the same time, the boy building a sandcastle near the pond might get splashed if the dog jumps in. As a result, he could get upset or try to move his things farther from the water. The man in the boat might also paddle away to avoid the mess or just laugh it off. Overall, it seems like things will stay playful and lively, and everyone will keep enjoying the nice weather, just with a little more excitement by the pond. Question number 3.
In this picture, what do you think will most probably happen next?
I think what will most probably happen next is that the woman who's cooking will stop what she's doing and rush over to clean the kitchen floor. This is because it seems that water is overflowing from the sink, dripping onto the floor, and creating a bit of a mess. There are some children nearby in the picture, so they might notice the problem and try to help her clean up. As a result, the floor will probably get cleaned up, but there's a chance she might forget to turn off the stove while she's distracted. That could lead to the food burning in the pot. Overall, things might get a little hectic if she doesn't catch it in time. Question number 4.
In this picture, what do you think will most probably happen next?
I think what will most probably happen next is that the rescue team will continue helping the injured man near the crashed truck, and the crane will start lifting the truck out of the stream. This is because the emergency workers are already on site, treating the man, and another group is preparing the crane and checking the truck's cargo. There are also some children and adults watching from under the bridge, and they might move to a safer place once they notice the situation is serious. As a result, the truck might get removed from the water soon and the road will become safe again. The police officers might also block off the area to prevent more accidents. Overall, it seems like things are under control, and with everyone working together, the rescue will go smoothly. Question number 5.
In this picture, what do you think will most probably happen next?
I think what will most probably happen next is that the woman with the child will receive the soup and start walking toward a table, but she might accidentally spill it. This is because she's holding a bowl of soup in one hand and pushing a stroller with the other, which makes it harder to move safely in the crowded cafe. As a result, the soup might spill on the floor or even onto the stroller, and one of the employees will probably rush over to help. The woman may feel embarrassed, but someone nearby might offer to help or check if the baby is okay. Overall, it seems like a small accident might happen, but the people in the cafe look kind and helpful, so the situation will likely be handled quickly and calmly. Task 5. Question number 1.
Your family is relocating to another area and you are looking for a new home there. You found 2 suitable options. Using the pictures and information below, choose the option that you prefer. In the next section, you will need to persuade a family member that your choice is the better choice. This is a sample response for Task 5 based on choosing the new downtown townhouse.
I was thinking about the 2 housing options, and I really believe the downtown townhouse is the better choice for us. To start with, it's more affordable, which is important since we'll have other expenses after the move. We could even use the extra money to buy new furniture or set aside some savings for emergencies. Also, the location is very convenient. It's close to public transportation, shops, and restaurants, so getting around would be much easier. That would save us a lot of time during the week and make everyday errands less stressful. It's true that the townhouse has only one bathroom, but I think we can manage. We've dealt with a similar situation before, and it wasn't a problem. Overall, I think this option is more practical and cost effective, and it really fits our lifestyle. What do you think? Question number 2.
You are choosing a school for your child. Option A is a public school near your home with average ratings. Option B is a private school 30 minutes away with excellent ratings. Decide which school you prefer and convince your partner why that school is better for your child. This is a sample response for Task 5, based on choosing the public school.
I was thinking about the two school options, and I really believe the public school is the better choice for our child. To start with, it's much closer to home. Since it's just a few minutes away, it would make daily drop offs and pickups much easier for us and less tiring for our child. Also, most of our child's friends will probably go there. That means they'll feel more comfortable and adjust more quickly to the new school environment. It's true that the public school only has average academic ratings, but I think what really matters at this age is feeling confident and happy at school. We can always support learning at home if needed. Overall, I think the public school is the more convenient and emotionally supportive option for now. What do you think? Question number 3.
You are buying a car for your family. Using the picture and information below, choose the car that you prefer. In the next section, you will need to persuade a family member that your choice is the better option.
I was thinking about the two car options, and I really believe the new car is the better choice for our family. To start with, it comes with a warranty, which gives us peace of mind. If anything goes wrong, we won't have to worry about extra repair costs for a while. Also, it has modern features, which means it's likely safer and more fuel efficient. That would make our everyday driving experience more comfortable and convenient. It's true that the new car is more expensive, but I think it's worth the investment. We'd probably spend more in the long run fixing up a used car with high mileage and no warranty. Overall, I think the new car is a smarter and more reliable choice for our needs. What do you think? Question number 4.
Your family is planning a one-week vacation. Using the picture and information below, choose the vacation option that you prefer. In the next section, you will need to persuade your sibling that your choice is the better option.
I was thinking about the two vacation options, and I really believe the mountain cabin is the better choice for our family. To start with, it's much more affordable. Since it's half the price of the beach resort, we could save a lot of money or even use it for other fun things during the trip. Also, the cabin offers plenty of outdoor activities like hiking and exploring nature. It would be a great chance for us to stay active and enjoy the fresh air together. It's true that the drive is a bit long, but we could turn it into part of the adventure, maybe stop along the way and enjoy the scenery. Plus, we won't have to deal with airport lines or flight delays. Overall, I think the mountain cabin offers a more unique and memorable experience without spending too much. What do you think? Question number 5.
You are choosing between two internet plans for your family. Using the picture and information below, choose the internet plan that you prefer. In the next section, you will need to persuade your parent that your choice is the better option.
I was thinking about the two internet plans, and I really believe the faster one is the better choice for our family. To start with, it gives us much higher speed. With more of us working, studying, and streaming at the same time, faster internet would make everything run more smoothly. Also, this plan includes unlimited data, so we wouldn't have to worry about going over the limit or paying extra charges every month. It's true that this plan is more expensive, but I think the benefits are worth the cost. These days, we rely on the internet for almost everything, and slow or limited service would just be frustrating. Overall, the faster plan is more practical and reliable for our needs. What do you think? Task 6. Question number 1.
A close cousin who lives in another country is coming to visit for a year. She tells you that she would like to stay at your place to explore your country's culture and to spend some time with you. Your roommate does not agree and says you will have to move out if she comes. Choose one. Either talk to your cousin, explain why she cannot move in for a year, or talk to your roommate, Explain why your cousin should be allowed to move in with you for a year. This answer explains to my cousin why she can't stay with me.
Hi, Rachel. I totally understand how you feel, and I really appreciate that you brought this up. But to be honest, I've run into a bit of a problem. The thing is, my roommate isn't okay with someone else living in the apartment long term. She even said that if you move in, I might have to leave. It's not that I don't want to help. I just have to think about other people involved too. That said, I'd still love to support you. Maybe we could look for a place nearby together or find a short-term rental that fits your budget. Let's keep talking and figure something out. Thanks so much for understanding. I really appreciate it. Question number 2.
Your brother is thinking about buying a new home in another city. However, your parents want him to stay and live in the family home instead. Choose one. Either talk to your brother. Explain why living with your parents is not a good idea. Or talk to your parents. Explain why it's better for your brother to live independently in another city. This response is about persuading my parents.
Hi, Mom and Dad. I totally understand your concern, and I really appreciate that you brought this up. But to be honest, I've run into a bit of a problem. The thing is, I think it would actually be better for my brother to live on his own in the new city. He's grown so much, and this move could really help him become more independent and confident. It's not that I don't want him to stay with us. I just have to think about what's best for him in the long run. That said, I'd still love to support you both. Maybe we could help him find a place that's not too far, or plan regular visits so we can stay connected. You're always welcome to visit him and spend time together whenever possible. Let's keep talking and figure something out. Thanks so much for understanding. I really appreciate it. Question number 3.
A customer recently bought a new phone from your store. Just 3 days later, the customer returns because the phone isn't working. However, the screen is cracked, and according to company policy, physical damage is not covered by the warranty. Choose one. Either talk to the customer. Explain why a refund or exchange is not possible. Or talk to your manager. Explain why the customer should be given an exception. This response is about explaining the situation to a customer.
Hi there. I totally understand your concern, and I really appreciate that you brought this up. But to be honest, I've run into a bit of a problem. The thing is, because the screen is physically damaged, it's not covered under the manufacturer's warranty. That means we're not able to offer a refund or exchange in this case. It's not that I don't want to help. I just have to follow our company policy, and this situation falls outside of that. That said, I'd still love to support you. Maybe we could offer a discount on repairs or help you get in touch with the service center directly. You're always welcome to reach out if you need anything else. Let's keep talking and figure something out. Thanks so much for understanding. I really appreciate it. Question number 4.
A coworker asks you to help with an important project this weekend. However, you already promised to help a close friend move and they're counting on you. Choose one. Either talk to your coworker. Explain why you cannot help with the project. Or talk to your friend. Explain why you need to cancel your plans and help your coworker instead. This response is about telling a coworker that I can't help them.
Hi, Daniel. I totally understand your concern, and I really appreciate that you brought this up. But to be honest, I've run into a bit of a problem. The thing is, I already promised to help a close friend move this weekend, and they're really counting on me. It's not that I don't want to help. I just have to think about other people involved too. That said, I'd still love to support you. Maybe we could go over your part together earlier in the week, or I could review it after the weekend. You're always welcome to reach out if you need anything else. Let's keep talking and figure something out. Thanks so much for understanding. I really appreciate it. Question number 5.
Your child really wants to have a dog. However, your new apartment has a strict no pets policy, and the building manager has clearly said pets are not allowed. Choose one. Either talk to your child. Explain why you cannot get a dog right now. Or talk to the building manager. Explain why you believe your family should be allowed to have a dog. This response is about telling my child that we can't get a dog.
Hi, buddy. I totally understand your concern, and I really appreciate that you brought this up. But to be honest, I've run into a bit of a problem. The thing is, our new apartment has a strict no pets policy, and the manager said we can't have any animals, including dogs. It's not that I don't want to help. I just have to think about other people involved too. That said, I'd still love to support you. Maybe we could volunteer at a local animal shelter or visit a dog park together on weekends. You're always welcome to talk to me anytime if you're feeling sad about this. Let's keep talking and figure something out. Thanks for understanding, buddy. I really appreciate it. Task 7. Question number 2.
Do you think that young adults should pay rent to their parents if they do not move out by the age of 21? Explain your reasons. This response supports the idea that young adults should pay rent to their parents.
Personally, I think that young adults should pay rent to their parents if they don't move out by the age of 21. This is because it helps them develop responsibility, and also because it supports the parents financially. First of all, paying rent is a great way to learn how to manage money. For example, if a young adult starts working and earning an income, giving a small portion of that to their parents helps them understand the real-world cost of living. It's like a stepping stone before living on their own. Secondly, parents usually have a lot of expenses, especially if they're still supporting their children in other ways. For instance, the extra rent money could help with groceries, electricity, or even the mortgage. It's only fair that everyone in the house contributes in some way. So overall, I believe that asking young adults to pay rent after a certain age is reasonable and even beneficial. It just makes more sense to me because it prepares them for independent life and helps the family at the same time. Question number 2.
Do you agree or disagree with the statement? High school students should be required to learn about personal finance before graduation. Explain your reasons. The speaker supports the idea that personal finance should be a required subject in high school.
Personally, I think that high school students should be required to learn about personal finance before graduation. This is because it teaches essential life skills and also because it helps students become more independent. First of all, financial education prepares students for the real world. For example, if they learn how to budget, save money, and understand credit, they're less likely to get into debt later on. These skills are just as important as math or science. Secondly, it helps young people make smarter decisions about their future. For instance, when they start earning money from part-time jobs, they'll know how to manage it instead of spending it all. This kind of independence builds confidence. So, overall, I believe that learning about personal finance should be a required subject in high school. It just makes more sense to me. Question number 3.
Do you think governments should pay their citizens a basic income if they are unemployed or underemployed? Explain your reasons. This response supports the idea that governments should pay their citizens a basic income if they are unemployed or underemployed.
Personally, I think that governments should pay their citizens a basic income if they are unemployed or underemployed. This is because it provides financial security and also because it helps people focus on finding better opportunities. First of all, a basic income can help people cover essential needs like food and housing. For example, someone who just lost their job still needs to pay rent and buy groceries. Having that basic support helps reduce stress and keeps them stable during a tough time. Secondly, it allows people to focus on job searching or upgrading their skills. For instance, someone working part-time might use that extra support to take a training course or go back to school. In the long run, this can help them find better jobs and contribute more to the economy. So overall, I believe that basic income is a smart and fair idea for those who are struggling. It just makes more sense to me. Question number 4.
Should university students be allowed to take a full-time job while studying? Do you think it is beneficial or harmful? Explain your reasons. This response supports the idea that university students should be allowed to take a full-time job while studying.
Personally, I think that university students should be allowed to take a full-time job while studying. This is because it gives them real world experience and also because it helps them manage their own finances. First of all, having a full time job teaches important skills like time management and responsibility. For example, students who work while studying learn how to balance their schedules and prioritize tasks, which is useful even after graduation. Secondly, many students struggle with tuition and living costs, so having a job can reduce financial stress. For instance, instead of taking out big loans, they can use their income to pay for school or rent. This makes them more independent and financially aware. So, overall, I believe that allowing university students to work full time is both helpful and practical. It just makes more sense to me. Question number 5.
Is it better for young adults to live independently or stay close to their parents until they get married? Explain your reasons. This response supports the idea that young adults should live independently rather than stay close to their parents until they get married.
Personally, I think it's better for young adults to live independently rather than stay close to their parents until they get married. This is because it helps them grow as individuals and also because it prepares them for adult life. First of all, living on their own teaches young adults how to manage daily responsibilities. For example, they learn to cook, clean, pay bills, and organize their time without relying on anyone else. These are important life skills they can't fully develop if they stay at home. Secondly, living independently builds confidence and decision-making skills. For instance, they face real-life challenges and have to solve problems on their own, which makes them more mature and self-sufficient. This kind of growth can really help in their future career and relationships. So, overall, I believe that young adults should move out and experience independence as soon as they can. It just makes more sense to me. Task 8. Question number 1.
You are in a furniture store and you see a table you would like to buy, but the store clerk won't let you take a photo. Call a member of your family, provide a full and clear description of the table, and ask if you can buy the table.
Hi, Mom. Something really unusual just happened. To start with, I'm at a furniture store right now and I just saw a super cool table that I'd love to buy. The top looks exactly like a giant slice of watermelon. It's round, pink in the middle with black seeds, and it even has a green rind around the edges. Also, the legs are shaped like bananas. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it actually looks really fun and colorful. Perfect for our kitchen or even for the kids' playroom. So I wanted to ask you, do you think it's okay if I buy it? It's not too expensive, and I think it would be a fun conversation piece. Let me know what you think. Question number 2.
You are at a restaurant and you ordered a cheeseburger, but the server brings you a plate of spaghetti with ice cream on top. Call your friend, describe what just happened, and ask what you should do.
Hi, Rachel. Something really unusual just happened. To start with, I'm at this new restaurant near my office and I ordered a cheeseburger. But instead of that, they brought me a huge plate of spaghetti with a scoop of vanilla ice cream and strawberry syrup on top. I'm not kidding. It looks like a dessert sitting on pasta. Also, the server just walked away like nothing was wrong, and the people at the next table are staring at it too. I double-checked the receipt and it clearly says cheeseburger. So I wanted to ask you, should I say something or just eat it? I'm super hungry, but I really didn't expect this. Let me know what you think. Question number 3.
You're on a city bus, and a man wearing a superhero costume is singing loudly and handing out candy to strangers. Call your sibling. Explain what is going on, and ask whether you should stay on the bus or get off.
Hi, Rachel. Something really unusual just happened. To start with, I'm on the city bus right now, and there's a guy dressed like a superhero, full costume, red cape and all. He's walking up and down the aisle, singing really loudly and handing out candy to everyone. Also, people are looking confused, and the woman sitting across from me looks kind of worried. No one is saying anything, but it's definitely not normal. I don't know if he's part of some promotion or just acting strange. So I wanted to ask you, should I just stay on the bus or get off at the next stop? I still have a few more blocks to go, but this is kind of weird. Let me know what you think. Question number 4.
You've just checked into a hotel room, but the bed is hanging from the ceiling by chains, and there's a bathtub in the room. Call your spouse, describe the room in detail, and ask if you should request a different room.
Hi, Daniel. Something really unusual just happened. To start with, I just checked into my hotel room, and the bed is literally hanging from the ceiling by four thick chains. It's not touching the floor at all, just floating there. Also, there's a full size bathtub just sitting in the room, not even in the bathroom. It's totally out in the open with no walls or curtains, so there's absolutely no privacy. So I wanted to ask you, should I ask the front desk for a different room? I've never seen anything like this before, and I'm not sure if I'll even be able to sleep on that swinging bed. Let me know what you think. Question number 5.
You're walking in your neighborhood and you see someone walking a pet pig wearing sunglasses and shoes. Call your cousin, describe what you saw, and ask if they've ever seen anything like that before.
Hi, Rachel. Something really unusual just happened. To start with, I was just walking through the neighborhood when I saw a woman walking her pig. Yes, a real pig on a leash like a dog. And get this, the pig was wearing black sunglasses and bright blue shoes. Also, the pig looked super confident, like it does this every day. People were passing by and doing double takes. One guy even stopped his bike just to take a photo. So, I wanted to ask you, have you ever seen anything like that before? Is this some kind of trend I missed, or just a really stylish pig? Let me know what you think.